another episode of Cooking with Brad, brought to you by Boston College Dining Services. Today we're making a dish inspired by the Corcoran Commons Farmers Market. Being able to get great produce usually starts at the farmers market. Local produce is better for you, and on top of that, it's picked ripe. Because it doesn't have to ship across the country, produce can be picked at the peak of ripeness. With the farmers market, you're also supporting the farmers directly, so if you can, please shop local. But today, we're inspired by this market, and we're going to make a carrot salad. So what we'll need is carrots with the tops, some ricotta cheese, Aleppo pepper with honey crystals, some pine nuts, some kale, some mint, and some various other spices, which we'll talk about. So the first is to get our pine nuts roasting. So what I've done is I've set an oven for 350 degrees, get the pine nuts onto the sheet tray, and then we'll throw them in the oven. It takes about 5 minutes, and this is what they look like when they come out, just nicely toasted. Then we're going to get our carrots ready. So for our carrots, we're actually going to save the tops. We're going to use those to make a carrot top pesto. And then we're just going to peel them, and then what we're going to do is after they're all peeled, we're going to cut them in half down lengthwise. And what we'll do is we'll use our knife, take off the tips if they're gnarly, and then what we'll do is we'll go right down the middle, making basically long carrots. Now, if you get a really thick one like this, instead of just cutting it in half, cut it into 4 pieces, so that way the carrots cook more evenly in the oven. So then we're going to get these tossed in oil and salt, pepper, and a little bit of cumin, and then we'll have to roast these. So what we'll do is we'll take these carrots, we'll get them into a bowl here, and then we'll just get a little bit of oil on top, and then we'll add our cumin, and then we'll add some salt and pepper. Toss those together to get the oil coated everywhere and to get those seasonings onto all the carrots. Get those onto a sheet tray, and we'll get those into the oven at 400 degrees to roast them. So, third step, while those are roasting, we're going to take our ricotta into a bowl. We're going to add our Aleppo and honey crystals, and we're going to take a whisk, and we're just going to whisk that all through. And as always, we want to make sure that we season salt and pepper, and then we'll whisk that in, and also want to make sure you give that a taste. It should be a little bit spicy, but have just a little bit of sweetness. Now, we need to get our carrot pesto ready. So what we've done is take our carrot tops, give them a good wash, add them into our blender, and into our blender we're going to add extra virgin olive oil. Once we have our olive oil in there, we're going to then add in our pine nuts. Now we're not going to add cheese to this pesto because there's already cheese on the dish, and I actually don't think it needs it. And we're just going to blend this together. So once you have enough in there to get it blending, you'll see you can create a nice little pesto like this. All right, so now we have everything. And we're going to start plating our dish. So we have our nice kale, and we're going to take a little bit of our mint. We're just going to rip that, have a little bit of ripped mint there. And here we go. So we'll take our ricotta onto the plate. We'll do a little drop and drag left, right. And then on top of that, we'll start adding our carrots. So our carrots, you see, you want to get some of that nice brown color. If you don't get that in roasting, you can use your broiler function to get that nice caramelization on there. So you start adding your carrots on, and then we'll take our pesto, kind of just do a random pattern around, almost like an ellipsis or an oval around. Then on top of this, we'll add our greens. So we've just mixed these greens with extra virgin olive oil, sherry vinegar, salt and pepper. And in that we have our kale and the mint. And here we'll add our toasted pine nuts right across. And that's pretty much all. So it's just a simple little carrot salad inspired by the farmers market. And that's the best part about farmers markets is you'll see a lot of produce and, just get inspired to do something different. And I hope you enjoy.